Hi everybody, and welcome to my Prezi presentation on advanced directives. Now, I'm sure advanced directives has been discussed a little bit in previous courses that you have taken, but when it comes to patients that are experiencing a type of shock, it is imperative that you know what advanced directives are and when you need to use them. So, this is what you need to know. Advanced directives. They are legal documents with instructions that apply if an adult is not able to make decisions about their own health care. Now, these documents only come into effect if the person is unable to give informed consent. Now, these are wishes that involve end-of-life care, their quality of life, and advanced directives really take into consideration the wishes of patients and to ensure that they are honored. So, advanced directives. What's in an advanced directive that we need to know? Living will. Let's start with that. Living will. Now, it is very important to understand what a living will is and that you need to really abide by state laws and regulations. So, a living will contains instructions about how a person wishes to be cared for in the event that they are in a condition that is life-threatening or are in a state of unconsciousness and are unlikely to recover. Treatments used to prolong and sustain life include CPR, ventilators, tube feeding, and even dialysis. Now, for a living will to be valid, it must be in writing and signed when the patient was able to understand contents and how it will be used. A person can cancel or change a living will at any time as long as they are able to understand what they are doing. Now, going back to what I was talking about in regards to abiding by state laws and regulations, depending on what state you're in, really depends on what is required for a living will. For example, the number of witnesses vary by state. When a living will is witnessed, sometimes it only requires one witness, sometimes it is required to have two. Also, who can be a witness? For example, some states prohibit spouses. Do living wills, do they need to be notarized? This is when you really need to look into your state law. Electronic records also vary depending on what state you're in because some states treat a copy of a signed document as if it were original. And living wills, do they get renewed? Well, after a certain number of years, sometimes they need to be, and that is something you also need to look at in regards to where you are living. Okay, so another, part of an advanced directive is power of attorney. This includes a durable power of attorney, a healthcare power of attorney, and sometimes you can hear it as other terms such as a healthcare proxy. Power of attorney, this is a legal document that identifies who can make decisions for an individual if they are not able to make decisions for themselves. The power of attorney can access medical records, consent, or refuse medical treatments on behalf of the patient. They are also able to select or discharge a healthcare provider. If a power of attorney has not been selected, state law decides who can make decisions on their behalf. Do not resuscitate. So, why is this important in an advanced directive? Well, when we were talking about living wills, we talked about treatments used to prolong and sustain life, such as CPR, vents, tube feeding, and dialysis. Now, if someone wishes to be a do not resuscitate, these treatments that prolong and sustain life do not matter. A DNR is a written instruction from a physician or other authorized healthcare provider stating the patient should not be given CPR if their heart stops or if they stop breathing. Unless emergency personnel who arrive on scene are able to find and quickly determine if the patient is a DNR, CPR will be initiated despite the person's wishes. So why is this important? Well, I'm actually going to tie in an example, a personal experience that I had a week ago. I am a hospice nurse, and I was taking care of a patient who we see frequently at my inpatient unit. He was actually going to the grocery store, became short of breath, and then sat down on a bench and became slumped over. Now, he is a do not resuscitate, however, bystanders did not know that, so they initiated CPR, he was shocked once, and he was brought back. He was not a happy camper because that completely went against what his wishes were. However, if you were the bystander, I'm sure you would act the same. So it is very, very, very important to include this in an advance directive so that your wishes are met. And that concludes my presentation on advance directives. Thank you and have a great day.